There is a lot of manga. Considering there are so many, some titles just summarize the entire story to stand out. This shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. But how much manga is there really? Tragically, simply googling how many volumes of manga there are isn't too helpful. But in Mal's database, there are 68,308 titles. Assuming the average volume count for a manga is around like maybe 0.8, you know how the industry is. There'd be around 54,646 volumes, with around 190 pages per volume. That is 10,382,816 pages, according to my flawless calculations. Now imagine if I told you, imagine I made the best 27 pages. That's right, I'm talking about chapter 2 of my manga Digman, and if you read it, keep imagining to trick yourself into believing it's true. Alright, now all my cards are on the table. This video is really just a glorified ad for my manga. So if you're curious as to how I made the imaginarily best 27 pages of all time, keep watching. If not, keep watching also, because this is actually a video about the manga/anime Look Back. Just with a huge ad surrounding it. So I guess if you don't like Look Back, I'm gonna spoil a chapter on my manga, by the way. Link in bio if you want to avoid spoilers. So in the last chapter, we end with the building the students are graduating from getting 9 blown the f*** up, and Gray emerging from the rubble, feeling more confident than ever. That just like his dad said, he is the chosen one to find the surface. Fortunately, I scripted chapter 2 through 49 a year ago, so I didn't have to do too much work on the scripting side and just edit what I already had. However, I've become a much better writer than the version of myself that hit a bowling PR of 173. Goated, I know. Last video I said, Digman, assuming nothing changes, which I don't think this will, is split up into 4 sagas. Emphasis on assuming nothing changes, which I don't think this will. It's actually broken into 5. The first one's the prologue, and really short. If we zoom in on the prologue, we see 3 arcs. The first arc, it's just chapter 1. Chapter 1's its own thing. Shut up, I can do that. Now we have arc 2. In the original script, arc 2 didn't really have any overarching theme or character arc, but now I decided to include one because I think I should do that. So making the first page of chapter 2, we open with this double page spread of little kid Gray mining. I was dreading making this page because I was nervous to draw a mine, which in all fairness, it doesn't really look like a mine, but it gets the job done. The subplot I decided on adding is about the pickaxe he's had since he was a kid, hence the scene's addition, which ties into the comment he made in chapter 1 about his pickaxe and it being a shitty one. However, he's also shown to lie in the first chapter, so Gray actually loves his pickaxe, and now the subplot will be following Gray having to get a new crystallized pickaxe, which is part of the power system. If I had screen record myself making more pages, this video would be so much easier to make. Okay, that's it. I'm skipping a lot of pages because I don't want to edit for 5 days straight like my last video, and for the reason I just mentioned. Now we are in the present, and Gray and Chris are seemingly on a talk show, which to make isolated too much Jimmy Fallon, I watched this video so many times. Too many times. I still don't think I did a very good job, but hey, I said imagine it's the best chapter for a reason. I got to a scene where on a commercial break, this character named Niamip angrily walks up to Gray telling Gray to stop suing the interview and that he's actually dog water. And I ran into a problem I've never ran into before. I just could not get the background to sync up with the foreground and look good in any way. So I pulled a pro gamer move and I'm the fucking GOAT. And I trained my building skills at a high intensity when a half year ago I wanted to make Mario Party in Minecraft, which, this is Minecraft Party, this is the best angle. So I had made 3 minigames so far. First was a chicken coop. Sick ass entrance. So everyone come over here, you know, and then you hit start game. Very simple game. The game starts, all these barrels have like eggs and arrows and whatever, and you're just trying to get to the top and like everyone's just like shooting each other, trying to get to the top, you know, but you fall down, oh no. And then you get out, and the last one out like loses. First one out gets the most points, you know how it is. This game's just a game I stole from a YouTuber. This is called Frank's Lawn, because the goal of the game is players take turn trying to get through Frank's Lawn. So you hit this, then you start, and you have to, you're trying to beat them there. And then when this timer reaches the end, you're going to see Frank appear in front of his house and try seeing if anything was going through his lawn. Oh, it was an F1. But he saw me, so now I fall from the sky. It takes a while. Now I respawn in here. Bang, and now I'm a cow now, signifying I'm out of the game. I gave this game a little creativity. What makes this game interesting though is every time someone gets through successfully, they take all this wood and craft whatever they want, then they add more stuff to the course. You also would randomize the order of players. Bang. Oh. Alright, this game was my favorite. I actually didn't finish this one, though. So in this game, there was a team of farmers and 1 rabbit player. The rabbit player would try navigating this maze and grabbing as many carrots as they could while the farmer was trying to kill them. The rabbit would try to escape, and then it would, but carrots up here. After everyone takes a turn as the rabbit, whoever has the most carrots wins. Then it was time to put all the skills I acquired to the test. Yeah, I was shit, but that wasn't the point. I just wanted a good reference, which it was. I landed up and just started tracing. I remember when I was making the Minecraft party thing, I was fucking addicted. One time when I was at school in between classes, I decided to, instead of reading manga like I normally do, figure out how the redstone for Minecraft party would work on my laptop. Which, if you're curious, so the way this would work is that these command blocks assign each player an animal that the player could choose. So let's say I chose a cow. Their cow would start on the starting line. Then after each game you get a certain dice block. In the actual world, you would get the golden block, then you'd set it down in a certain spot, then it would automatically roll the die. In this case, I rolled a 5. So then using certain buttons, I would move my animal 5. Oh, I thought that would work. Then I would move him 5. Shit. Oh, yeah, see? So then you would use this. So I would press this 5 times. And then the cow would move along the track. And then eventually, so what would really happen is they would be on this board. Because this looks more aesthetically pleasing. So then 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and I landed on a fun space. Did I actually make this do anything? I did not make this do anything. But then it would do something. And I kept rearranging myself so that my screen wouldn't be facing anyone walking around. Because I don't want people to think I was messing around with fucking redstone on college campus. That would shatter my top tier aura, which does exist. I finished the drawing, I was satisfied with it, and went on to finish the page. The published version of the page is different from the one you just saw in the time lapse. I changed Neomip's clothing to be completely black because I don't detail black clothing, which is the greatest art style decision I have ever made. And I also just gave him less piercings. Hey, what do you know? It's time for the actual video. A deep dive into Look Back. But first, in the last page, Gary's getting his ass chewed out for being distraught, annoyed, or just not having his head in the game. And so, he decides to take these feelings out on Chris, naturally. But before he does, I wanted to show the passage of time. I thought it'd be funnier if he just took a while to snap out of his misery and self-loathing before seemingly randomly making fun of Chris. So, I came up with this, which I stole from Look Back. And Look Back is peak. After the interview, I got to draw a panel of Cornerstone, which is the city they're in. And at this point, this was one of my favorite drawings of Cornerstone I had ever done. Then I had to draw them in the green room. And that's when I really watched that Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel clip. They're the same person in my head, in which you can see some resemblance here. In the manga I make, I like including cute critters or just creatures because 1, I think it attracts people to the series, and 2, I just like drawing cute critters. And it was finally time to introduce the main one, Munchie. I love how it turned out. I love how Gray's being a little menace on this page, and Munchie looks pretty adorable. In kind of like a scruffy way, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much it, since I don't record myself drawing enough pages. We open once again with a young Gray, this time mining away. He gets told that's enough, to his disappointment. Owen walks him back to his room. Before she leaves, Gray asks if he can keep his pickaxe. She says yes, to his surprise. And after careful consideration, he carves a name into the pickaxe. Crusher. Back in the present, we see Gray and Chris being interviewed. Chris says he appreciates the city of Wolfen Hollow's help in rebuilding the city of Cornerstone after the bombing of a hanging building he and Gray both survived a month prior. They get asked as to why they're such good friends now. Chris says that after the incident, they realized they weren't so different, whereas Gray says they were forced to. The woman, Yunda, interprets their remark the way she wants to, and asks if they know why Smile's been quiet. Gray interrupts, claiming he's the reason why. And before he can excitedly proclaim he's going to find the surface, Chris interrupts him, saying they'll find it together. And then talks about what's coming up for them down the road, including receiving Chrysolite's pickaxes, which catches Gray off guard. Gray questions her, to which she says every Digman gets one. Gray asks one final time, before getting the same answer he doesn't want to hear. They go on break, and the chief of finance, Neomip, expresses his anger toward Gray for looking like a muted idiot on TV, then tells Chris to keep him under control. Chris replies saying yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gray mocks after time passes to Chris's confusion. Gray claims that Chris only got saved because he looks like a girl, that the lady that saved him meant to save Saphira instead. And he also says that he's a weakling, which is probably why he doesn't care about getting a new pickaxe. The program resumes, and Yunda announces the boys will be training under former Digwoman Hilsey Hass, who, Yunda also reveals, they haven't heard from in a very long time. Chris is shocked, whereas Gray does not care, and is too busy thinking about having to get a new pickaxe. In the green room, Chris is nerding out about being trained under Hilsey, but Gray is still too grumpy to have an actual conversation, and he blows up on Chris again, saying they should be looking for the surface instead of wasting their time. Chris refutes, claiming Gray likes the press tour, which Gray denies. Chris suddenly looks surprised as Hilsey shows up. She introduces them to her former assistant, Munchie, and informs the boys that she doesn't like being pet, not that Gray cares. Nehemit begins walking up to them, which catches Hilsey's attention, and she leaves. They get told to attend a press conference with High Lady Lefren and High Lord Sitch of Wolfen Hollow. When Gray begins looking rebellious, Nehemit tells him that he won't get Crusher back if he doesn't show up. I've decided I'm done editing this video. I was gonna have a critique section of the chapter here, but I'm not editing all that. So that's pretty much it. If you read chapter 2, it would mean a lot. I always leave a lot out in the brief recaps. It would also mean a lot if you voted for it, which you can only do on the website and not the mobile app, so that I could win $2,000 and it would work towards making this a career. Real talk, I think everyone should be required to watch Look Back. Admittedly, this part of the video is only here because I want this video to be longer than 10 minutes. I have to export each part of the video differently. It can't be under the same file or else CapCut will either crash or just refuse to like work fast at all. Hopefully the TikTok ban doesn't also ban CapCut. I heard one person say that. I don't think it does, but if it does, I am fucked. The main critiques I was gonna say was just that I did not copy Jimmy Fallon correctly despite watching it. Like what I saw is just not what I did, and that was pretty stupid. You know, the interview lady's dialogue I feel like was kind of robotic too. It was kind of just like, oh, I need to deliver this piece of information, which I feel like I'm normally good at masking that in a natural way. This time I feel like I didn't though. But chapter 3 is better, so it's all good. Thanks for everyone who left a comment and read the chapter. You're awesome. Okay, bye.